Isso aí, estamos de volta com o Vampyr. Cara, esse jogo é muito do caralho, hein? Vamos ver, a gente tinha parado, tinha caído minha internet ontem. Então acho que a gente parou bem dentro da mansão da casa Ascaron. Isso. Foi isso mesmo. A gente ficou de falar com o chefe aqui, mas vamos tentar trocar uma ideia com ele. Ah, os caras não arrumaram aqui ainda. Você consegue falar com ele agora? Não. Lady Ashburn? O que você tá fazendo aqui?
Elizabeth, what are you doing here?
I've been formally asked to witness your triumph, my dear. After all, isn't it the natural role of a woman to support her man in victory?
But it's you who insisted I join the Ascalon.
Please forgive my giddiness. I'm just overcome by the thrill of finally being allowed within these hallowed halls.
You certainly have an inquisitive mind. It's quite something. Elizabeth Ashbury, only you can make me smile in these difficult times.
And the same to you, Jonathan Reed. Now go have your little chat with the chairman. I can see he's practically bursting to hear your report.
Certo.
I must admit the Guard of Prewen impressed me. They must have spent years preparing their plan. I personally went patrolling last night in the West End, and I spotted
Certo. Vamos fazer o reporte.
Welcome back to the Ascalon Club, Lancebearer. Please tell us the good news. Have you put an end to the epidemic?
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of the contagion in this part of town. She was probably the first to be infected.
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told. Well done, Dr. Reed. You thrust your lance and pierced the very heart of the corruption.
But some questions remain.
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London. For that, we salute you.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, I have another task for you. One of the utmost importance. Perhaps even more so than the previous.
I'm listening.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I want you to recruit a new vampire.
Recruit a new vampire? Are you sending me on some sort of diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the Ekon he deserves to be.
I'm not sure I'm the best candidate for such a task.
I can hear the hesitation in your voice, Dr. Reed. I admire a man of principles. But in this matter, there is more at stake than your moral comfort.
It's not a moral question, Lord Redgrave. It's the responsibility of giving immortality to a man I barely know.
Nonsense. Aloysius has been a member of the Ascalon for years. This is but the fruition of a long-held plan.
How would you like me to proceed?
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate. Once the deed is done, I'll join you there to celebrate this momentous occasion.
Ó, lembrando que a gente, quando sem querer, a gente transformou a irmã, não foi. Eu acho que foi a gente que transformou a própria irmã sem querer, quando a gente mordeu ela. E a pessoa que é transformada, ela fica ouvindo vozes do mestre vampiro que a transformou. Eu não sei dizer se esse cara simplesmente não quer ter aquele maluco que tá mais ligado a ele do que a gente, simplesmente saiba o que a gente pensa, vamos dizer assim. Não sei, né?
Before I go, I have a few questions.
All right, I'm listening.
Why Aloysius Dawson?
Because he is about to die. And he just may be the most influential man in England. After me, of course.
Did he choose me?
No, I did. My decision is very recent, to say the least, but it is entirely mine.
Does he know I'm coming?
He can't wait to become your progeny, Dr. Reed. Especially now that you have shown how strong your lineage is through your sister.
You invited Lady Ashbury. Wouldn't that be breaking one of your cardinal rules? No women allowed.
Not allowed as members, no. But considering the circumstances, I thought you'd like to have her here to witness your triumph.
So it's a temporary admittance, then.
Something of a bargain, considering the crisis we're currently facing.
How would you like me to proceed?
Don't worry. Aloysius has had many years to prepare himself. He has studied our kind for decades.
So shall I just let him drink my blood?
Yes. Aloysius will gratefully sup on your blood. His heart will slow, then stop. But he will rise again as one of us, an immortal.
Is there any danger?
Our blood alters a mortal body so deeply that some don't survive the metamorphosis. They die for good. But Mr. Dawson has been preparing himself for a long time.
Goodbye, Lord Redgrave.
Understandably, you...
Goodbye.
Beleza, então vamos até a entrada do templo e pelo visto a gente vai transformar aquele velhão.
I think we're safe for now. I pursued and killed the last hunter with my own hands as he tried
Are you
to
all
escape
right,
the blood.
Jonathan?
Lord Redgrave has just ordered me to turn Aloysius Dawson, to make him my progeny.
I see. And how do you feel about this?
I'd like your advice on the matter.
The real question here is, why has his lordship given you this task?
Do you think it's some sort of trap?
Do you really want to know what I think about this?
I do, yes.
To make an immortal of a soulless blackguard like Aloysius Dawson will only lead to a disaster for London. The man is already dead inside.
Should I refuse? Perhaps politely suggest that Lord Redgrave turn the man into a vampire himself.
Don't you dare, my dear. According to what I've recently discovered,
Caramba.
his lordship could kill you for even broaching the subject.
Really? Why?
I've recently found proof that the Earl of Bristol is of lesser lineage and only capable of creating skulls.
Caralho!
Please tell me more about your recent investigation.
As long as you lower your voice.
What would you have me do about Dawson?
The man is dangerous. Did you know he plans to build a wall to separate the healthy rich from the sickly poor? Do not make him your progeny.
What would you do?
The man's dying already. Let the Reaper harvest the rotten fruit that is his soul.
What would happen if I made Dawson an Ekon like myself?
You would add a powerful immortal into a suffering world. An immortal who already craves authority.
Maybe I could teach him control, like you taught me. Lead him down the right path.
Mr. Dawson spent his life searching for a way to cheat death. I'm sure he has spent decades dreaming of how he'd spend eternity as a tyrant.
Are you sure your information about Redgrave is correct? He says he's the progeny of the great knight William Marshall, who lived some 9 centuries ago.
That's a lie. Lord Redgrave is unable to create anything but skulls, if the poor souls survive at all.
How can you be sure the information was correct?
I made the acquaintance of a most interesting informer while investigating your maker, from whom I learned the truth about Lord Redgrave.
Why so vindictive? You suddenly sound like you're angry.
Forgive me, Jonathan. I hate myself for it, but I feel such pride in my discovery. I'm afraid I just can't help it.
Which is?
He did serve William Marshall. And yes, the blood he covets as a token does truly belong to that legendary knight. But he was never his progeny. His lineage is not so noble.
Goodbye for now, Elizabeth.
Goodbye, my dear. Please,
Eu não
be
duvido que
careful.
essa Ishbur, no fim das contas, não esteja manipulando a gente. Não duvido. Bom, o que a gente vai fazer? Ir pra igreja, então? E vamos ver o que acontece. Cara, não vem, mano. As tretas aqui estão muito bem feitas. Será que a gente vai virar o líder dessa porra toda? Será que a gente vai ter opção de tipo, foda-se?
It looks like vampires have to obey Mendel's laws when producing progeny. Powers pass from one generation to another. That's why Dawson wants me to sire him.
Jardim do Tempo. Tem ninguém aqui? Geralmente fica lotado de... Vá até a mansão. Eu ainda não consegui falar com esse maluco aqui. Consegui.
Good evening, sir. I am Dr. Jonathan Reed. Do you need my help?
Yes, please. Would you be kind enough to tell me what the time is?
That's all you need to know.
Well, is it not important to know? As important as where you are? Or who you are?
I suppose you're right. And who are you then, sir?
I am Agamemnon Baker. Like my brother, I think we need to leave this city immediately. And my brother and I rarely agree on anything.
May I ask what you're doing outside at this hour of night?
I don't know. You should ask my brother instead. It was his idea in the first place.
You must have your own ideas.
From what I have managed to understand, I guess we're supposed to wait here. Waiting for someone to come.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's the only place I've considered myself happy. Or at least that's what I believe. Unfortunately, it's time to leave.
Why is that?
Because I'm not feeling happy here anymore. Are you?
What kind of question is that? What am I supposed to answer, exactly?
The truth. And I believe you just did it, actually.
May I ask why you've not gone already, if you're so exasperated by this long wait?
I believe fear is holding us back. My brother would have said it's laziness, but it's just because he's prouder than I am.
What can you tell me about your brother?
He's older than me, I think. But the important thing is that I really hope I'll die before him. Grief would just kill me, you know?
Is that all?
Pericles is very attached to this city, and without my insistence, he would never leave this place. We don't often agree on anything, you see?
Who are you waiting for, exactly?
The more I think about it, the more I believe it's not exactly a person we are waiting for.
But what else could it be, then?
I don't know. A feeling? An event? An impulse? How can I tell? Something that would allow us to leave this trap.
I'm afraid I'm not following you. What kind of trap?
Esses gêmeos são misteriosos, hein?
Have you ever felt like life trapped you in a role that does not fit you? That you're not in your place? That sort of trap.
Trap? And you think leaving London will free you?
At least it will give us the chance to be free. That's more than our present situation. Hope, Doctor. Hope is what truly drives mankind.
Tell me, how long have you been waiting here?
I can't say for sure, since I have no watch. But the night is still young, and I am not tired.
Is that the most honest answer you can give me?
Yes, I think so. Why does it irritate you, sir? Is comprehension really that important to you?
I'm a scientist. I try my best to understand things. I know the world has to obey unbreakable rules.
You know, or you want the world to obey such rules?
I know one thing. I do not understand who you are.
And it's better that way. What kind of life would we live if we could summarize a person in a few words or a few lines?
What are you really afraid of, Agamemnon?
The problem is, it's precisely what I don't know that frightens me. So I suppose I can't really answer your question.
If you finally manage to leave London, where do you intend to go?
A happy place, that's for sure. A place where I can smile because I know the next day will be better than the previous one.
Such a place doesn't exist. There are never any guarantees that tomorrow will be a better day.
That would mean I have no hope left, and I just can't accept such a conclusion.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
You should ask that question to my brother instead. Personally, I've not seen Aloysius for many years.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Baker.
Cara, esses dois são muito confusos, velho.
Good evening, Mr. Baker.
Why do I always have feelings of déjà vu when I talk to you?
Pericles, tell me why your brother disagrees with your presence here.
Agamemnon is naive sometimes. Although don't consider him a fool, sir. He is often more lucid than me.
At least you both have the same difficulty explaining what you're doing, and for what reason.
But is that not a common problem for all mortals?
What can you tell me about your brother?
If you are searching for a pleasant chat, you should speak with him instead of wasting your time with me. He has always been the more gentle of us.
That's it? That's all you can tell me about him?
For the time being, true kindness is the most valuable quality, my good sir.
Eles falam e não dizem nada, esses caras.
How long have you been waiting for this man?
Sometimes I feel as though I've been waiting for him for ages. Perhaps it is my role in life to wait for him. Not a pleasant thought.
It could be dangerous for you, waiting here all night.
That's quite true. But what other choice do we have? We are waiting here until we finally go.
Mr. Baker, I have met many strange people during my life, but you are definitely one of the strangest.
Really? I don't feel particularly odd or weird. All I want to do is leave. What's wrong with that?
Why are you still waiting for this person?
What would be the point of going before meeting the man, as he's going to help us leave?
Pericles, what are you going to do now?
I don't know. Perhaps it's time to leave. Perhaps we should stay a little longer. How can I tell?
And where exactly are you thinking of going?
In a place where I will finally have that feeling, to be where I belong. The world has to be meaningless chaos to make such a heaven plausible.
Eu tô pensando em morder esses caras. Sabe por quê? Ó, se liga. Os dois, eu tô usando um poder vampírico pra explicar. Os caras não sabem quem eles estão esperando. Todas as pistas já foram reveladas. Os dois são nível 4. E eles estão esperando alguém que eles não sabem quem é. Simplesmente aparecer pra levar eles pra um lugar melhor. Que lugar melhor é esse?
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
I've heard this is a man who has searched for his place in the world for a long time. I hope he found it.
Deixa eu ver uma coisa. Eles me deram alguma quest? É, eu não sei se vai liberar uma quest aqui ainda. Todas, falta só essa e essa aqui. Eles nem estão aqui. Eu tô com medo de eles terem uma quest. Eu vou esperar um pouco. Mas tô pensando em morder esses dois.
Goodbye, Mr. Baker.
Eles estão esperando alguém. Será que não é o jogo dizendo que eles estão esperando a gente e de repente morder ele? Vou trocar uma ideia com esse maluco só pra ver dessa pergunta da...
What are you investigating?
I have a missing woman. Possibly abducted a few nights ago.
Tell me about Louise T.
She's a waitress.
Do you have any idea?
No.
Mas a gente já salvou ela.
Do you know anything in particular about a man called Aloysius Dawson?
Who doesn't know the man? I think he intervened personally to put an end to the police strike of last August.
What else can you tell me about him?
Aloysius Dawson is exactly the kind of powerful and influential man who could commit murder and get away with it. With just one phone call.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Vamos lá então. A mansão dele vai ficar onde? Reto aqui.
I cannot enter.
Caralho, mano. Onde é a porra da mansão do cara? Ali é... Eu acho que eu vou perguntar sobre ele antes. Até que alguém me responda alguma coisa interessante. Quem que a gente tem aqui? Ah, aqui, ó.
Good evening, young lady.
My mother always prefers when...
Have you ever met the famous Aloysius Dawson?
Yes. A very strange man. Not very nice.
What do you
Alguém vai me dar uma
mean?
informação
He said he was
interessante.
ready to pay good money for rare books. And then laughed at what we showed him.
Opa.
Goodbye, Cal.
I am sorry,
Esse cara é o pilar
I
da
am.
comunidade.
How about someone else instead?
Good evening, Miss Price.
You know you can call me.
Do you know Aloysius Dawson?
Everybody knows him. He's only been to my shop once, though, looking for rare books and other intriguing antiques.
Did he buy something from you?
No, he left quickly. He almost laughed at my goods. Mr. Dawson may be a rich man, but you can't buy good manners.
But isn't Aloysius Dawson known for his philanthropy?
That was before his brother Robert died in an aeroplane crash. Since then, the remaining
Opa.
twin has turned into a heartless tycoon.
Será que era isso que a gente queria?
Goodbye for now.
Dr. Reed, I am glad to see you again.
Será que era essa a informação que a gente queria? Ou tem mais? Pra falar a verdade, acho que eu vou voltar. Quem deve saber alguma coisa, com certeza será a filha da Ashburn. É, a gente tava por aqui, deve ser aqui.
Yes, sir.
I found an old letter written by my father and addressed to me. Do you know anything about it, Avon?
Your father wanted me to give you this letter for your 35th birthday, but you left for the war, and the letter remained in his office until tonight.
I realize now you knew my father better than I did. Do you know why he left, Avery? Did he ever speak to you about his departure?
No, sir. Mr. Reed was not exactly forthcoming. Perhaps this letter will give you the information you require.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Not much, sir. Mr. Dawson's house used to be a good house, with many servants. I heard he fired them all recently.
Olha.
Thank you, Avery.
Your bedroom is ready. I always hoped that I would hear children play in this house before I die.
Sinto muito, não vai rolar. Quem pode ser que saiba?
Good evening.
And good evening.
What do you know about Aloysius Dawson?
That man is a tyrant. The embodiment of greed and selfishness. All I despise about this country.
Goodbye, Charlotte.
She's been...
Eu não tenho opção de feitiçaria. Ah, não, mas é porque eu não...
Good evening.
Do you know anything about a man called Aloysius Dawson?
He used to be a big spender. One day, he sent 3 houseboys to buy all the beluga in my shop. For his brother's birthday, if I remember correctly.
I see. Anything else? Less gastronomic, perhaps?
I really can't say. The man is filthy rich. But you know that, of course.
A boca dele não tá mexendo. Certo, acho que eu vou deixar por isso mesmo. Já perguntei demais e ninguém me respondeu nada interessante.
Please, sir. Whether you need to buy something or not, I'm happy to help.
Vamos encontrar ele então, a gente conseguiu uma pista. Então o lance é entrar aqui. Igreja do Templo. Onde pode ser a mansão desse cara? Essa aqui é a igreja. Sabe quem pode saber das coisas? O maluco que fica aqui embaixo. É caminho mesmo? Vou trocar uma ideia com ele.
Survive the epidemic. Good evening.
Eu tinha descoberto alguma coisa. Pedir pra ele.
Is there anything you could tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Aloysius Dawson. Yes, of course. We met on several occasions. With time, he got deeper and deeper into the occult.
He's not the only one. It's been quite the fashion for several decades. The Golden Dawn, for instance, is just one example.
True. Aloysius was a member of the Golden Dawn until 1900. Then his thirst for dark knowledge grew. I'm talking forbidden texts, readings which blackened his heart.
Conseguimos 2 pistas. É, meu querido.
Can you read the...
Put the money on the...
Here is the money.
Redemption. A strong man, eager to help and support the weak. A criminal who redeemed himself. A better life, rebuilt from scratch.
Tom Watts, ele é um criminoso legal, hein?
Can you read
Put the money on...
Eu tenho dinheiro, vamos ficar.
Here is the money.
Deixar
The glutton. A man who just eats life as a cake. A righteous ego, surprised to fall in love.
Can you read...
Put the money...
Here is...
The Joker. A woman bent to obey and debase herself. A cruel gaze in the dark. A monster laughing at you.
Karina? Ah, é aquela mulher doida.
Can you read...
Put the money...
Here is the
Iron Maiden. A woman, angry, fierce. A healer turning into a warrior. She's ready to arm herself and hunt you down if you push her too far.
Caralho, hein?
Can you read the card?
Put the money on the...
Here.
The Sorceress. A heart-shaped trap built to entangle a loved one. Mirrors on every wall to see her own reflection constantly.
Call price. Chega.
Goodbye, sir. Until we meet again.
I rarely want... And the Empress. Again.
Certo, vamos tentar achar a casa desse maluco então. Tô curioso com esses negócios no chão. A gente tava ali em cima. Ué? Por que sumiu? Vá até a mansão do maluco. Ué? Tem que ser isso aqui, a mansão dele. A gente descobriu as pistas dele, só que agora não tá aparecendo no mapa. Vá até a mansão. Aqui é a igreja. Será que é por aqui? Às vezes tem um caminho por trás. Aqui, ó. Aqui mesmo, achamos. A gente vai matar maluco, velho. Mansão dos Dawson.
Dawson's mansion. Here I am at last. But the question remains. Am I ready to make a dying man my progeny?
Você acha alguma coisa sobre ele? Vamos começar aqui pro andar de baixo, fuçar a casa dele, porque às vezes a gente acha uma pista, uma parada legal. Nossa, essas casas gigantescas.
Finally you're here, Dr. Reed. What took you so long?
I had to pass several of your barricades and outposts to access your mansion, sir.
Death, pestilence surround us, and time is against me.
I see you've gathered some of the most expensive, albeit experimental, blood transfusion equipment available. All this could be so useful in a hospital.
Yes, yes. Since Lord Redgrave sent me a doctor to perform my conversion, I thought you might find some of these devices useful.
Most thoughtful. But tonight I'm not here as a physician.
But I feel reassured that a specialist such as yourself would help me to escape the Reaper.
Very well. But before I proceed, I have a few questions for you.
If you must, but be quick, for I don't have much time left in this life.
First of all, I need to be sure that you know exactly what is going to happen to you, sir.
I can assure you I'm as informed as any man can be. I have planned for this moment, Dr. Reed. Planned very carefully.
So I'm going to end your life. Do you not wish to discuss the procedure for even a minute?
I don't have a minute to indulge in idle chatter. I can't feel my legs. And the cold. So cold.
I will become your maker. Do you understand what that means?
Well, I certainly won't consider you my liege, or some such drivel. You can be assured of that.
You'll need to feed on warm blood. Blood from mortals. How do you feel about that?
I'm rich, Dr. Reed, and powerful. I'm sure I'll be able to acquire all the blood I need without ever having to sully my own hands.
What do you know about the Guard of Priwen?
What I do know is that I'll crush anyone or anything that would dare to oppose me.
Let's move on then.
Please, I'm cold and tired. I feel my life waning with every moment.
But first, before you embrace immortality, what would you do with such a gift?
That's a rather impertinent question, Dr. Reed. And I will do as I please.
Answer me all the same. What will your first action be as an immortal?
To save London. I will finance the most efficient quarantine ever seen. I will build a wall that will separate the sick boroughs from the healthy ones.
Who gave you the right to decide the fate of thousands of people?
My money. My money and my pending immortality gives me the needed authority, Doctor. I'm a businessman. I'm used to tough decisions.
You really plan to build a quarantine wall across London?
Yes, it will be tall and strong, separating the wheat from the chaff.
By doing so, you will also create 2 separate prisons.
Come, sir. An eminent doctor like yourself knows that such radical measures have proved efficient in the past.
Let me guess. You mean to isolate the rich from the poor?
This is a desperate measure for desperate times. England must prevail, Doctor, no matter the cost.
Quarantine is not a bad idea, medically speaking. But I'm convinced this epidemic will not be contained by mere walls.
As long as the right people are on the right side of the wall, that's all that matters.
But you can't guarantee infection will not spread. Just one contagious carrier would be enough to create an apocalypse.
The apocalypse is already knocking at the gate. We must be strong now.
What if a new outbreak happens inside your walls? You'll have created a giant trap.
That won't happen. As long as we dispose of anyone that is contaminated as soon as they are spotted.
I've heard enough. It's time to proceed.
At last. All right, do what you have to do. If it hurts, so be it. I've been preparing such a long time for this.
Bom, se eu matar ele, vai ficar nessa mesmo. Eu posso encantar ele, vai perder o medo de morrer, mas ele vai ficar vivo. E aí vão discutir que eu recusei, né? Vai rolar a discussão de que eu recusei transformar ele. Então se eu matar, vai dar a entender que eu posso dizer simplesmente que ele não sobreviveu à transformação.
You don't deserve immortality, Mr. Dawson.
What? What are you prattling on about?
I don't believe I've ever met a man so bereft of empathy. You, sir, are despicable.
No! Wait! You can't! I made a deal with Lord Redgrave. I'll finance whatever he wants. Please, just ask him.
Sleep now. Rest now. Forever.
Você é médico, mas você me dá jeito nisso. Jeito que você
I would
matou.
have lived forever. Who are you to decide my fate? Who gave you the authority?
Terceira chave. Certo, vamos continuar dando um rolê aqui pra saber o que tem na casa dele. De repente a gente acha uma parada bem top, porque o cara é rico pra caralho. A gente ainda tá no andar de baixo. Olha isso, cara, segunda chave. Eu tenho uma coisa no andar de cima. A gente vem aqui pelo andar de baixo, aqui pela direita. Eita, vamos subir. Então tem mais uma chave. Quer dizer, deve ter mais um. Deixa eu olhar nesse andar aqui primeiro, a gente vem aqui de baixo. Aqui. Nós estamos com muita grana, cara. A gente nem tem o que fazer mais. Certo, vamos vazar então. Aqui. Eu não esperava por isso.
Is it done, Dr. Reed? Is Aloysius Dawson reborn, as expected?
Alas, Aloysius Dawson was not brought back to life after his death. The man is gone.
What? What happened?
He didn't survive the procedure. He was too weak.
This is unacceptable, nevertheless. You were given the simplest task.
Well, get rid of me then.
From now on, you're an outcast. Banished. You are forbidden to ever appear in front of us again. Ascalon will smite you on sight, and your heart will be thrown to the rats.
I'll leave you then. Have fun with your puppets and shadow plays, Lord Redgrave.
Yes, go, traitor, and take that awful creature, that counterfeit of a woman I saw waiting for you, and be gone!
Step away, traitor. Return to your dubious friends and your decrepit hospital. Do not dare show yourself again, you or that monstrosity you bring to my door.
Caramba, velho. Calma, a minha net tá zoada, igual que eu vi. Caramba!
We meet again at the strangest of times, young Ekon. So do you serve the Earl of Bristol now?
Old Bridget. What are you doing here?
Your friend, the wise Ekon. She sent me to warn you.
Did anyone see you? It's a long way from the dock sewers, and hunters are patrolling the streets here.
Who said I took the streets? How do you think I survived for centuries in this city without ever being seen? I know all her secrets.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
She came to us in the sewers in search of answers. Just as you did.
What kind of answers did you give her?
I knew nothing of your maker, but we talked. We talked a lot. Her words and ideas are captivating. It is no surprise that you like her. I like her too.
Lady Ashbury in the sewers. Now that's a sight I wish I'd seen.
She said she was your friend, and that she sought the identity of your maker. So I answered her questions.
Lady Ashbury? You know her? Tell me what's going on.
The lady approached me but a few nights ago, wanting to meet the sewer skulls. Once she questioned Harriet Jones. She agreed to help us.
Harriet Jones is still with you then? How is she doing?
Harriet remains angry, but is recovering slowly. Her mind is twisted, but at least her body is healing.
Tell me what is going on.
The lady asked us to keep an eye on your mortal doctor friend while you were away. We spotted the hunters. They were discussing plans to attack tonight.
Wait, slow down. I need to ask you something.
I'm listening, but I do not have time to waste, so be quick.
Where is Lady Ashbury right now?
She said she will go home. She needed to speak with some old friends first, though. Do not worry, young Ekon. She is no fool, and just as strong as you.
How did Elizabeth find you?
She presented herself humbly at our gate, and asked if we knew of any ancestral vampires hiding in London. She asked about Ascalon. She asked about many things.
What do you think of her?
Her soul is good, yet tainted with a deep sadness, and the scars of ancient wounds. Time does that to us immortals, for we have so much to dwell upon.
Why did she come to you?
I am old Bridget, the buried memory of the city. She sought the silent truths. Truths I have kept hidden for so long.
Why do I feel like Lord Redgrave was particularly irritated to see you? Far more so than the average Skull, if I may say.
Because I used to know him quite well. And he is afraid I may remember who he really is.
You're Elizabeth's informant. You're the one who told her about Lord Redgrave's lies regarding his lineage.
Yes, but my words were not meant to hurt or threaten. I simply told the story of the sewer skulls, and of so many other forgotten children.
Será que ele é o que transformou ela?
No time to lose, then. I must go there right away.
I shall return to my den. Have you a message for the lady? Should I see her before you?
Será que a gente abraça o romance? Vamos abraçar o romance, vai? Ou não? Tira pra conversar, estou preocupado. Ah, vamos abraçar o romance.
Yes. Tell her I love her.
Is this still unknown to her? Go now and take care, young Ekon, for the flames are rising.
Beleza. Então a gente vai ter que ir lá pro hospital e sair nas treta, né? Ah, vamos por Whitechapel. Com certeza eu vou ser atacado. Tinha descoberto
Mr.
alguma
Bates.
coisa?
Evening.
Nada.
Goodbye.
Vou reto aqui, virar à esquerda. Isso mesmo. Eu venho aqui, subo um pouquinho e vira à direita. Eu tinha descoberto alguma coisa sobre esse cara, já vou ver. Não.
Goodbye, Mr.
Cristina Pope, a gente descoberto alguma coisa sobre ela.
Good evening, Christy.
Change your...
Vou fazer um tratamento.
Do you need any assistance, Miss Popper?
It depends...
I am shocked that you would think...
Forgive...
Goodbye, Miss.
A gente provavelmente vai dormir. Deixa eu dar uma olhada aqui. É melhor curar essa galera, viu? Em Whitechapel. Esse lugar tá muito fodido. Tem ele aqui. Eu posso morder
Good
o padre.
Tell me the reason why.
A faithless shepherd is the worst criminal.
I only met him briefly, but he seemed a dedicated...
Do you not believe in punishment, my son?
If it is God's will to punish me for my alleged sins, to make people I love suffer and die, then he did a good job. But he won't ever be my lord.
Armageddon is upon us, Dr. Reed. The final battle where every soul will be weighed. I'm afraid yours will burn for a long time.
Don't you fear...
Fate!
No doubt.
Less...
I have heard an...
O filho dele aqui.
Good evening, Harry.
Sure. Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
So?
I'm not bothered.
Would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest job? Because he tried, you know.
Can't say. I'd be glad if he dropped his thuggish activities. But I'm not sure it would be enough.
Why is that?
Sometimes I suspect it's me, Dr. Reed. Or it's this life. It's like I can't find my place.
Do you need any medical help?
Yes, I do.
You'll feel better.
I'm not sure.
Goodbye, young.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Clayton... Onde o Clayton fica? Se não me engano, ele fica por aqui. Achei.
Good evening, Doctor.
Sei nada dele.
Do you need...
That would be nice of you.
If you...
Thank you.
Goodbye, man.
Albert Palmer. Porque se eu for pra quest principal e avançar à noite, aí tô fudido, cara. Tipo, o negócio tá sendo controle, mordi muita gente. Tem alguém pra esse lado? Acho que não. Falta o Albert Palmer. Church Palmer. Deixa eu dar um rolê por esse lado. Cadê? Ah, lembrei. Ele fica num... Ele fica num canto da cidade. Talvez aqui que ele fique. Talvez seja ali porque ele ficava separado. É, ele ficava num canto separado, mas acho que eu vou por lá. Agora que eu lembrei. Eu vou vir aqui e eu vou vir pra cá. Ele ficava tipo um... Como que fala? Um cortiço.
Good evening.
Acho que eu não conversei com ela.
What are you doing with your time now that you're back in Whitechapel?
I've decided to help the poor and sick of the neighborhood by handing out medicine.
That's very charitable of you. But why do it at night?
I've noticed that the most desperate people tend to go out after dark. Hence my presence, to help them when I can.
Giving out medicine? How can you afford to do that?
I am a rich widow, Dr. Reed. My departed husband left me enough money to last the rest of my life. I can spend some on those who don't have any.
Why don't you move to a better neighborhood?
I thought about it, I confess. To go back to the same empty home every day still hurts me a lot.
Why stay here then?
I am a woman of habit, Dr. Reed. And for now, I am happier being useful in a familiar place than I would be anywhere else.
How do you feel now that you're back in Whitechapel?
I've decided to follow your advice, sir. I won't forget the dead, but my efforts will be for the living.
I've no doubt. That is a wise and useful attitude in this part of town.
To be completely honest with you, I'm also doing this for myself. If I'm destined to survive this epidemic, I need my life to have some purpose.
Do you still think about your departed husband?
Of course I do. I'll never forget my beloved Matthew, but how do I put it? Now I miss him more than I want him back.
I know what you mean. And I think it means you're getting better.
Maybe death will take me the way it took Matthew. Without warning and without mercy. But until then, I live on.
Eu ganhei uma pista e não tem pergunta?
How is the sanitary situation?
My only relief.
Estranho.
Goodbye.
Opa, ali, moleque.
How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy. I'm ready for it.
Do you need us?
Please.
There you go.
Very fun.
Goodbye, young man. How are you?
I'm not your boy.
Goodbye, young.
Tinha mais uma aqui, nefralgia. Eu tinha conseguido uma pista com ele, vamos ver o que acontece.
Good evening.
I'm afraid...
A gun?
Com isso, correi todo mundo que dava pra apurar aqui. Vou voltar aqui por baixo, descer aqui.
How dare you interfere with my hunt?
cara.
Well, traitor. Show me how you defeated Fergal Buncher!
Maldita sombra, cara. Os caras estão muito fortes, hein? Os caras tão fortes.
What is this truck? Are the vampire hunters here already?
Certo, vamos ver se tem alguém doente aqui. A gente já cura. Certo. Será que eu durmo? Acho que eu vou dormir. Tô com muita XP. Caralho, meu. Por que nunca não libera o bagulho, velho? Certo, tenho 10. Aqui tá no total. Aqui tá no total. Tá no máximo, né? Configuração. Acho que eu não preciso de mais que isso. Esse aqui podia ser bom. Acho que eu vou só pra finalizar, viu? Esse 4.500, acho que eu vou nesse mesmo. Nosso presidente do Império, Dawson, foi morto às 4 da madrugada de ontem. Uma das empregadas da almoção o encontrou na cama pela manhã, imerso no próprio sangue, e imediatamente comunicou o ocorrido à polícia. Cerca de 10 criados estão prestando depoimento, mas não há pistas claras sobre a identidade do assassino. Nascido na cidade, o Sr. Dawson foi um benfeitor de Londres e um membro devoto da Igreja Católica por muitos anos. Ele exercia vários papéis: negociante, patrão, pai e irmão. Os poucos que tiveram a sorte de conhecê-lo pessoalmente, incluindo esse que vos fala, sabiam que ele era ainda mais que isso. Ele era um homem de visão. Ele viu um futuro para esta capital tomada pelo crime. Ele viu como nossas famílias e amigos poderiam ser protegidos dos perigos lá fora. Ele viu como sua fortuna e influência poderia ser usada para o nosso bem, pelo bem do povo. O Sr. Dawson planejava transformar a cidade em uma fortaleza onde os virtuosos poderiam viver em paz. Infelizmente, este ideal atraiu a inveja dos outros, que não permitiram que ele vivesse o suficiente para ver os frutos de sua dedicação. O Sr. Dawson deixa uma filha e muitos admiradores em luto por sua perda. Caralho, mano. Fadiga, resfriado. Meu Deus, cara. Morto, a gente tinha matado ele. Esse lugar tá fudido, mano. Resfriado. Estável. Eu não curei esse pessoal. Não curei esse pessoal. Preciso curar esse pessoal. O bagulho tá foda. Certo, eu preciso dar um rolê depois.
Those bastards. What have they done to Edgar? Looks like he's wounded. I better follow the blood. McCullum and his thugs are taking the credit for Edgar's abduction. They really mean business.
Essa porta estava fechada antes. Que vai ser uma treta foda. Tô até vendo. Puta merda.
Ultraviolet curtains and Ori calcium powder. Dr. Swansea's always been a resourceful bastard. I bet he never told you he had this installed in case of a vampire attack. Says a lot about how much he trusts you.
What have you done with Edgar?
Don't worry. We don't kill humans. Even if your friend is deserving of a little punishment for one.
What are you talking about?
We know everything. Swansea and you created this bloody epidemic. You aim to unleash another disaster, just like William Marshall did.
No, I'm trying to put an end to it. Just like you are.
You're the progeny, aren't you? Where is the monster hiding? It's still in England, isn't it?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Jeffrey, please listen to me.
No tricks. That shit won't work on me. We've found proof in the theater. Doris Fletcher was your first experiment. Now where is Marshall? Speak! So much for modern technology. Time for the tried and true. Do you know what this is, Beast? This is a drop of King Arthur's blood. The blood of a true defender of Britain. Stronger than your evil powers.
This is ridiculous. We're losing precious time.
True. Show some style. Close your eyes.
E aí? Seu merda.
We are the guardian of justice. Priwen shall prevail.
You can't accept the fact we're not enemies, can you? Mistaken.
What do you mean?
Caralho, mano. E se eu transformar esse maluco no Vampyr vai dar muito ruim, velho. Eu acho que eu vou transformar esse maluco no...
Welcome to the world through the looking glass.
Caralho, meu irmão. Essa foi sensacional. Você quer saber o que eu vou fazer? Acho que eu vou para as docas, viu? Eu vou dar a volta por aqui. Porque as docas tá muito fodida. Nem tô acreditando, meu. Que desfecho sensacional foi essa treta. E eu acho que vai ter mais ainda. Não era isso que eu queria fazer. Casa Ascalon já me odiava antes mesmo, então foda-se. Som esquisito, acho que bugou o som.
He seemed a decent man, despite his profession.
Yes, he was a decent man. Too soft, maybe. They are all gonna pay for this.
Eita, fui eu.
Are you really going to seek revenge for Mr. Digby's death?
I've never been so sure of anything. Since the real murderer will never be found, I'm gonna punish everyone.
Violence breeds violence. Don't you see, sooner or later, you will become the target, in retaliation for all you've done.
So you finally understand how things work around here. Good. Now stay out of my way.
Tell me, Edwina, have you reconsidered Booth's fear of monsters, considering his mysterious death?
He should have learnt to shoot first, rather than chasing ghosts around. What a clumsy leader he was. But I'll miss him, nevertheless.
É, só não vou morder ela porque a gente precisa...
Can I offer...
Giving out.
Perhaps I would.
Thank you.
I'll leave you...
Não, mas ela tá com... Full.
Hello again.
Yeah, what do you... Bloody bastard. First Booth, then me. You tricked us good.
500 e... Nossa. 576. Mas tô com 40% do melee de dano. Essa daqui vai ser mais forte.
Good evening, Miss.
What?
Inebriation aside.
Yes.
Take this.
Hey.
Goodbye.
Welcome back, Doc.
Gente, eu consegui uma pista com ele. Ah.
Tell me about your arrest for attempted murder, Tom.
I tried to kill someone. I got arrested. I paid my debt and I have nothing to hide.
So you mean your customers know about your sordid past?
Yeah, why do you think this is the last pub open? I have nothing to hide and I don't judge. That's a relief for many round here.
Do you think prison changed you? Made you a better man?
Oh, I don't know about that. All I brought back is bad memories, scars, and an ugly tattoo of a blue turtle.
But do you feel cleansed of your sins?
All I know is that I'm at peace. I did what I did, but I wouldn't do it again. Does that make me a better man? I don't know.
You attempted murder. Give me some details.
I was given an order to kill. I was an obedient gang member at the time. A proud, wet boot boy.
Why did you join the gang?
Because I finally felt useful. Do you have any idea what it means to feel respected when the rest of the world shits on you?
So you were ordered to kill someone. What happened then?
I don't know if you can possibly understand, but I couldn't kill him. I just stood there pointing my gun. Someone saw me. I gave up.
Why couldn't you shoot?
My target was eating in that fancy restaurant with mirrors and music. He was eating, drinking, laughing. He was having such a good time. I hated him for his bottomless appetite and easy life of easy pickings. And then something happened.
You refused to kill him because you wanted to feel some of that happiness yourself. You empathized with him.
Exactly. The man was a bloody landlord who rented overpriced flats. A selfish bastard. But he made me smile. And I was no different from him.
Why not leave town and start a new life after you got out of jail?
I grew up in the East End. This is where my roots are. This is where I want to help others, and die, eventually.
Do you think the docks will always be a hive of scum and villainy?
As long as poverty and fear run the show, I don't see how it would change. Misery loves company, as they say.
Don't you feel threatened, staying in such a violent and criminal neighborhood?
I've made peace with my violent past, Dr. Reed. I may not be a pacifist, but I'm not angry anymore.
Do you need any... Indeed.
Oh, thank you.
Goodbye, Mr.
Quem mais falta aqui? Esse cara. Martinet Gay. Ah, esse daqui eles moram longe. Esses aqui eles ficam lá perto desse cara. Não é pra cá. Opa!
Good evening.
You should not be talking to me, Mr. Reed.
Why is that?
I am Rufus the Cursed Kingsbury. Everyone dies around me. Anyone I get to know.
I don't fear death.
Death will take you like it took Mrs. Fishburne, and her son, and my parents. This is the place where the bomb killed them. It was no accident. I remember it now.
Whoa.
Tell me how you feel about the Fishburne family, Rufus.
I was so afraid for my life after Seymour's threat. I didn't realize yet how much I miss Mrs. Fishburne.
Seymour won't bother you anymore. You're safe.
So I know I'll meet plenty more Seymours before I meet another Stella. I hate this place as much as it seems to hate me.
Listen, Rufus.
I need to be alone. Please.
No, 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 no.
Good evening.
It's not.
Tell me about that day, Rufus. Tell me about the bomb.
Maybe it's all these recent deaths, but I feel like a curtain has been raised in my head. I was there. I saw the explosion. I saw my parents die.
You don't have to tell me anymore.
I remember the blast, the heat, the screams. I don't know why it happened to us, but I guess my nickname is mine for a reason. Rufus the Curse. That's me, all right.
Oh, Rufus.
My parents didn't deserve to die. Neither did Mrs. Fishburne. They didn't do anything wrong, but neither did I.
There's no rhyme or reason to this. Death has no purpose, and we can't predict where he'll strike.
Seymour once told me that death is a blind bitch. He was bloody right about that.
Certo.
Do you need help?
A real doctor?
A real doctor treats it.
I don't know what to...
I get it.
Ah, desse lado aqui. Mas ainda assim vou dar um rolê mais pra esse lado. Ah, sabia.
Good evening, sir. I'm amazed you made it back to the docks alone. Good for you.
Well, I could say the same about you, young man. More to the point, who the hell are you?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
And I am Archer Woodbead. Please excuse my assertiveness. I often forget I'm just an old prune.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
People used to feel safe around here. They had the gangs protecting them. Now all they do is bicker and plot against one another.
Missing the good old days, are you not?
Trust me, son. The longer you live, the less meaning your existence will have. You need to remember the days you still had beliefs.
And what about the gangs?
Back in my day, people trusted the wet boot boys. We looked out for the docks and its families. Nowadays, they're just a bunch of greedy fuckers.
You were a gang member?
I was their leader for a time, believe it or not. Now these bastards act like I'm nothing. Not one of them. They owe me some damn respect.
Caralho.
If you were such a respected figure, surely you have many interesting stories about this part of town.
You bet I do, but make no mistake. I'm no rat, sir. Some secrets are best left buried.
Do you still know anyone? From the old days, I mean.
Most of them are dead. I still give Miss Gillingham salutations. She doesn't remember me. She did once like me. Boy, she was a beauty back then.
Any remarkable new faces around here?
Nobody. Well, there's that boy Rufus the Curse. I like him, despite the reputation he's made since his parents died. Poor little bastard.
Who would you trust around here?
The owner of the Turquoise Turtle's a decent fella. Tom's his name. Sean Hampton's all right too. Don't particularly share his religious views. He's quite devout, if you catch my meaning.
I'm sure a district as colorful as the docks must have plenty of stories about strange visitors and creepy characters.
So, you want me to talk about the sewer dog, don't you?
If you don't mind.
The sewer dog is a bitch. Appropriately named. An old woman dressed in rags. She has an elegance, though, despite her ugliness. I saw her once. Scared the life out of me.
Have you always been so bitter?
It's not bitterness, it's poorly masked disgust. When everything turns to shit, we all have to eat a spoon or two.
With everything that's happened recently, the war, Spanish flu, I must concede that these are difficult times.
A few nights ago, I saw a kid eating a rat. He was right in front of one of those abandoned houses nearby. Just chewing on a living rat's insides.
Skull.
Tell me about the Wet Boot Boys, Archer. I want to know more.
We were there for the families and each other. It was us against the world. We were vicious, tough, even cruel. But we were united.
You sound like you were some kind of radical union member.
Yes, nowadays the communists and gangs squabble over pointless territory. Sounds stupid when you say it out loud.
Tell me everything you know about the Guard of Priwen.
Andrew never told me what they do. I do know they're vigilantes with military training. Access to some impressive firepower.
And what is your personal opinion about the Guard, then?
This Guard of Priwen is just another gang preying on the young and naive. Preying on people like my boy. I know how it works. I invented it.
Why did your son really join the Guard of Priwen?
If I believed in a higher power, I'd see this as punishment for my own sins. I deserve it for all the young men I enlisted back in the day.
You don't believe in God, though, do you, Mr. Woodbead? So why did he join?
Now I think about it, Andrew joined the Guard, not to defy me, but to follow in my footsteps, to make me proud.
So your son has left you nothing to explain his actions? No letter or message?
Not even a note. I'm a proud man, Dr. Reed. But I would kneel and pray if I thought it would give me my Andrew back.
No fim de...
Goodbye, sir.
Não.
Good evening, Mr.
Good evening.
Do you need... Nobody is immune to disease.
Well, thank you, Doctor. Now maybe I'll live another day.
Certo.
Goodbye.
Aqui a gente já curou esse pessoal. O que a gente precisa fazer... é chegar aqui na Doca Oeste agora. Ver se a gente acha aquele outro pessoal. Tá em estado crítico essa merda. Eu não tenho certeza onde é que é. Comerciante. Tem que ser ali. Acho que eu vou vir aqui por trás. Achei. Achei.
Good evening, young man.
There's no need to call me that, Dr. Reed.
Coisa nova.
Young man.
I don't like...
There's no shame in asking for help, especially when you are in desperate need of it. Here, take this. You should recover in no time.
Thank you, I suppose.
Goodbye.
Tinha... Ah, bom, ela tá inteirona. Desse outro lado tá o outro maluco.
Good evening, Mr. Throgmorton.
Dr. Reed.
Do you need my medical attention?
Actually, I may. In my line of work, I have to stop at any sign of infection.
Treating a vampire hunter's wounds is certainly a first for me. I'm happy to help you, of course.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. Your support means a lot.
Goodbye.
Agora eu preciso achar aqui. Certo. Acredito que seja ali. Deixa eu dar um pulo aqui, vai que eu acho a porra da bomba. Apesar de que, né, cara, aqui eu não tava conseguindo subir, mas eu tinha achado uma entrada ali por cima. Opa, que travada foi essa? Tem uma coisa que não é pra estar acontecendo. É, hoje o bagulho tá zoado, hein? Hoje tá zoado. Já